this is the marathon. 26 miles, 385 yards.
The defending champion is in the field. He's Mamo Walde, but he's over 40 years old. He's in great shape, but can he make it at the age of 40 and bring the title to Ethiopia?
This will take something over 2 hours. Frank Shorter not letting anybody get away from him, even the early going. He's right there in 5th place, number 1014.
Of course, they've got a local favorite in this race. The crowd is cheering for Lutz Philipp of West Germany because Lutz Philipp has a chance, Jim. And especially since he'll be going through 26 miles of streets and German cheers to encourage him.
Lutz Philipp, he's the man who won a marathon by less than a second this year, isn't it, from Ron Hill? The leader, Fernando Molina of Argentina. There's Frank Shorter. One of America's last 2 hopes for an individual gold medal today, the other being Steve Prefontaine.
America has not won a gold medal in the marathon for over half a century. And all lies on the 40-year-old shoulders of Mamo Walde to bring the title to Ethiopia for the 4th straight time.
Now, incidentally, this will not just be a case of seeing these runners when they leave and when they come back. The marathoners are out of the stadium, and here you see them running through the grounds of the Olympic Village on their way to downtown Munich, with tens, certainly hundreds of thousands of people lining the road all the way, with film cameras out in front of them, from the David Wolper Group making the official film of these Olympics. And later, remember, you'll not only see them from this camera, but from other live television cameras stationed in the Englischer Garden, Nymphenburg Palace, Königsplatz downtown. You'll get a flavor of all the various types of localities this course goes through. It is not a hilly course. The decision has been made in the Olympics to keep the courses a little simpler, a little flatter, and I guess, Eric, that's so that they can in time have such a thing as a realistic world record in the marathon?
Yes, and the unrealistic world's record holder, Derek Clayton, who has run 26 miles in 2 hours and 8 minutes, is in this race. So we may see a race that goes as fast as 2 hours and 8 minutes today.
Frank Shorter is the American hope, and we'll try to spot him. It appears that he is to the left of your screen. He is in the dark track pants. There he is, moving up along. Just as Viren of Finland in winning the 5,000 today, adding to that the 10,000 that he won earlier this week, and Vasila, also of Finland, upsetting Kip Keino in the 1,500-meter run that you just saw live here on ABC. Roelants of Belgium has now moved into second, just behind Derek Clayton of Australia. See the blue line in the center? Just follow that blue line for 26 miles, 385 yards, and you've got it whipped. That is, if you have enough stamina to go that distance. And the way Derek Clayton, number 28, looks at this time, you see a Japanese now. Usami has moved into third. But you see Derek Clayton, number 28, Roelants running second with the Japanese third. Frank Shorter, whom we mentioned, graduated from Yale, but is also in the University of Florida Law School. The man running second, Roelants, is 42 years old. Gives you an idea of just what these people are made of. Is still leading the field. The 24-year-older, there you see him coming up along the van. Frank Shorter, who's running along very nicely in this marathon. But Frank Shorter is a law student at the University of Florida, a Yale graduate. He's the man that won the marathon at the Pan American Games. The last time the United States won a marathon was in 1908. It was won by Johnny Hayes, and rather strangely, because an Italian marathon runner was leading as they came into the stadium. He collapsed 3 times. Several people tried to carry him around the rest of the way, but of course, that is not legal. So it was Johnny Hayes who won the marathon the last time for the United States in 1908. Kenny Moore of the United States. And of course, this is one of the days where there's very little pollution in Munich, Germany, because all the streets are closed, other than the vans and the official cars. Electric-powered cars, incidentally, are moving up the Strasse, or the streets here in Munich, Germany. Just repeating that the United States won the 4x100-meter relay in spectacular fashion just a few moments ago for an American gold. And earlier, if you just joined us, Finland came through with their second and third gold medals as Viren won the 5,000-meter race. Kipchoge Keino was second in the 1,500 behind Vasilov, who was another Finnish runner. So there was an upset in the 1,500-meter run. Of course, there were no Americans due to several mishaps in that field. You probably wonder why the distance is 26 miles, 385 yards. We'll be back for the marathon and more live coverage of these Olympic Games following this message from one of our sponsors, whom we've needed to bring you all this comprehensive coverage. Okay, here is the marathon, and there he is, the 24-year-old man that runs 20 miles a day, and today he's trying to be fastest of all in a 26-mile race. And feel during these games, you know that the 500-meter lead isn't too bad with another 8 minutes to go.
Frank doesn't look like he's faltering. He's got the smell of victory, and that spurs him on. He's looking very good. This is a brilliant race. Frank was well-paced all the way. He stayed behind the leaders for the first third of the race, and he has been leading since the one-third mark. He's been making the race, and he ran it just the way he wanted to run it. Ground into the dust of such big boys as Ron Hill, Derek Clayton, world record holder. He's very near the entrance to the stadium now. They're about 200 yards to the corridor, which leads to the stadium, after which he's got to take at least a lap.
Out on its feet.
That's not Frank. That's not Frank.
The man who came into the stadium is not Frank Shorter.
That is an imposter. That used to happen in the Boston Marathon. That is an imposter. Get him off the track.
Will receive the tribute, the real tribute. Many in the stadium here have no idea that a fake has come into the ground.
Come on, Frank, you won it.
Frank is now inside the stadium, number 1014. He came out this morning saying, what in the world can happen today that will surprise us? Well, this is it. An imposter entering the Olympic Stadium, appearing to win the marathon. Shorter is dazed. He doesn't know what to do. Now the guy just went down to the marathon gate, put his hands to his head, and the officials down there don't see another difference. The crowd trying to let him know that he is the winner. Don't worry about it. But whether Frank thinks he lost or not, I have no idea. He may think that that other guy took a complete victory lap and then left the stadium, whereas the man never came to the finish line. Has this ever happened? A man who perhaps does not know that he's won the marathon in the Olympic Games, right down to the last gasp. Here is Lismont, the authentic second-place finisher of Belgium. Boy, he's dragging.
Nobody looked as beautiful as Frank.
I'll never forget the look on Shorter's face when he looked about half done by a baby Bakila in 1960 in his bare feet in Rome, by Bakila again in shoes in Tokyo, and by this man 4 years ago. Tremendous confusion here in the Olympic Stadium at Munich.